Hey Lexi, you want to watch the Star Wars where Princess Leia is taken captive by a dark Force user dressed in black who carries a red lightsaber and is threatened by torture until a rescue party led by Obi-Wan Kenobi whisks her away, but not before the villains plant a tracker on them so that they will inadvertently lead them to the Rebel base? No, I'm not talking about A New Hope, but rather another episode 4. Actually, part 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello and welcome to LexiCon Reviews, part 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Exclusively for our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe here, like, comment, all that good stuff, as we say over on our other YouTube channel, youtube.com/VDCTV, and check out the main feed of the podcast at anchor.fm/LexiCon podcast. New episode dropping next Sunday.
Yeah.
And of course, Mario Wars, our 2-part epic, in which we act out... What, buddy?
Tap that red button.
Tap that like button. Thank you for that. Mario Wars, our 2-part epic where we act out the script for the aforementioned A New Hope as characters from the Super Mario Bros. Universe is up.
Yeah.
Alright, so now back to the extremely derivative and unimaginative Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Isn't it interesting how episode 3 ended with a fight against Darth Vader with one of them getting burned?
Yeah, like I say, this is one of the most derivative bits of Star Wars.
Are there similarities between episode 1 and 2?
I've ever seen. And I mean, clearly it's almost got the same plot as Bad Batch with Omega and her trials.
Yeah.
I can't wait till episode 5 where Obi-Wan goes to see Yoda.
Well, what really stinks is not only is this painfully derivative, but it's also poorly written and directed. And it's not a good series.
It doesn't feel as good as the others. That's.
I mean, at least the actors are good. That's one thing it's got going for it. But otherwise, I'm not a fan of this. It's a big miss in my book. I mean, seriously, to me, the only appeal of this series was to give us a fully formed Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. And this whole broken Jedi shit just is not working for me.
I'm sorry.
Now, I don't have a problem with him struggling over Anakin's betrayal and the fallout of the duel and everything, but totally cutting himself off from the Force and who he is. I mean, that's just Luke from the Disney trilogy.
It is.
I mean, it seems to be getting back into the groove of it a little bit.
What's up with Disney's fascination, though, with wanting to take a character that is beloved, but who we've never gotten to see fully in their powers, and just giving us a worse version of them? Why do you think that's appealing?
You know, Disney made the decision to shut down Club Penguin. They're not great at making decisions.
Club Penguin was awesome.
And, you know, the more time Leia spends with Ben in this, the more questionable and less sense their relationship in Episode 4 makes. Which is all like... She doesn't say it, but she is good as, you don't know me, but you served my fathers and my fathers. Yeah. I guess, but you served my father in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I mean, clearly they had a hell of an adventure together.
If they had done what we expected originally and it was just like a brief sort of thing, we could have kind of lived with it.
Yeah, but this is far more than just a brief.
Now that it's like the whole series, it's like, well, now I've got some questions.
It almost makes this whole series just seem like a 6-hour justification for Kylo being named Ben. Someone's like, why would she name him Ben? She barely even knew him. Crap, we gotta do something about that. Let's give Ben and Leia an adventure together. But that kind of messes up New Hope. Shut up! The old stuff doesn't matter.
I bet that's exactly what happened.
We don't need anything with Ben, Kylo.
Alright, well, what do y'all think about Part 4 specifically? Any thoughts on it?
I didn't have that many thoughts on it, honestly. Like, it just sort of happened. Of course, Lola at the end, or whatever the little droid is called.
Yeah, that's where they planted the tracker.
Yeah.
And it was like the evil eye.
Yeah. I mean, like, it makes sense, and it's a way for... Yeah. It's like, oh, well, that's what happened to that droid. They're going to have to destroy that now.
Well, not necessarily. She said she put a tracker on it. It could just be just a droid.
I'm sure
they could almost take the tracker out of it.
But I was, until that moment, I was like, she said she put a tracker on the ship. When exactly did she have a chance to do that?
Yeah.
There's at least one thing they got right. That's at least one part that wasn't poorly done.
Yeah.
Even though it's completely derivative of Episode 4. But I digress.
Yes.
Very much.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's where Vader got the idea.
Goddamn Disney with the Kylo Ren, Rey Force Mind Meld shit. I don't need to see that from Anakin and Obi-Wan. I mean, when they're both in the back tank together, and it's like I was like, no, nope.
Well, and again, when Kylo will pull the Force dyad.
And again, if they could connect like that now, how did Ben never realize he was alive in the last 10 years? How has he never heard of Darth Vader in the last 10 years? Just ain't nothing going on out there.
Maybe it's a nightmare.
Nothing but the meat.
I have no idea.
Because he knows exactly what Anakin looks like without his helmet.
I mean, he's a pieced it together.
No,
he didn't piece anything else together?
He was too busy cutting meat.
I doubt he was that focused on his job.
Also, when Reva was interrogating Leia, why would she think a 10-year-old wouldn't have any of that information that she wanted?
I have no idea. That was good. It's like she's a kid. Why do you
like she
expect
wasn't
this
even really
from
hooked
her?
up with. I mean, she wasn't. Her dad's even only tangentially connected to the rebellion at this point. He's still maintaining his you know, his outer stance as being loyal to the Empire.
Yeah.
And I mean, Leia's just finding out about these sort of rebellion safe houses and bases and whatnot. Why would she know any of that? And why would Reva assume she knows any of that?
She has a told, go to this tunnel, meet a guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that ridiculous scene where she all of a sudden was at the end of the tunnel.
She used instant transmission.
You guys talked about that last week, I know.
We did, yeah.
We got a little bit of badass spin in this one when he was fighting the stormtroopers in the hallway and then he was holding back the water and used it to take them out. So that was okay, but we need more of that.
We do.
And we saw him use his first make a sound.
But I do want to know, when he first rescued Leia, why did it take so many lightsaber strikes to fell those stormtroopers? He hacked at that one guy like 4 times, and the other one took 2.
Yeah.
He should have been able to cut him in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, he was standing very far away, but only
not
the
like
tip
that.
of the saber could hit.
We know that armor's not really conducive to blocking anything.
Facts. We literally... No, speaking of
Literally,
stormtroopers...
it doesn't really help them with any sort of environmental disasters. It doesn't block lightsabers. It doesn't block blasters.
Yeah, we
It does
saw
almost
some get
nothing
shot,
for
but
them.
also we saw one of them just, slap one.
You see that a lot more in,
That
like,
was so
the Disney
ridiculous.
films.
It was kind of funny, though, really.
It
But
was
the lightsabers
funny, but at
don't
the
do as
same
much
time,
damage.
the fact that they essentially took down a stormtrooper just with a slap, it's like,
I mean,
excuse me?
There should be very little that a lightsaber doesn't just go through like butter.
Yeah.
You see, Disney is
Isn't it,
making
like,
them the
just that
lightsabers of
one
Teras Kasai.
Metal
That's
stuff.
right, because they're part of that contrary opinion. Like, the Jedi aren't so cool. They're not good. We have to take them down a notch.
It's like,
Fuck off.
It's like lightsabers barely do anything ever since Disney has it. Except for when Luke does things.
No.
Then lightsabers do stuff.
Still waiting for Obi-Wan to have his Luke in the Mandalorian / Vader and Rogue One moment.
But even Finn in Force Awakens got a scratch on the back from the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Just a flesh wound.
I was also thinking, too, that the one rebel who had the Jedi wife, or at least the Force-sensitive wife,
Yeah.
his about face when it came to helping Obi-Wan was a little quick for me. And it was like, I'm not going to help you. I know what the Empire's capable of. I had a wife. I'm helping you.
He just had to remember that for a moment.
And it's like,
actually,
I mean...
you know what? Yeah, you're gonna need help.
It's just, that was
We'll do
quick.
this for her.
I mean, it would have worked better if he had been pushing to help Ben, but Ben was like, no, it's too dangerous. You don't know what the Empire's capable of. And then the guy responded with the story about his wife, and I know what the Empire's capable of. I'm helping you. And also, that story would have been a better way to establish Reva as a badass to start things off, if she had been the one who took out his wife or something, or even if we heard more stories like that about the Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, why are they all of a sudden obsessed with the rebels? I thought they were just hunting Jedi. I thought that was the Inquisitors' role.
I mean, the rebels are helping Jedi.
I didn't know they were Darth Vader stormtroopers. I thought the stormtroopers were Darth Vader stormtroopers.
I have no idea.
They get to the rebels, they get to Jedi. Or at least Force sensitives.
The other stuff.
Do what?
Inquisitors and the other stuff.
They're in Rebels.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm mainly referring to
those
like
in
your
Jedi
books
Fallen
and stuff
Order.
like that.
No, I've never read about them in
old canon.
I've never read about them in those books. There's not really any books that take place in this time period. There's a. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there are really. Oh well, there's the Obi-Wan book. There's one Obi-Wan book. It all takes place on Tatooine, and it's
Yeah, I'm still reading that.
I want to say it's earlier. It's earlier in the timeline than this, right? I think Luke,
maybe.
I think Luke's still pretty young in it, but regardless, there's that. But I mean, it only focuses on Obi-Wan and the people he's interacting with on Tatooine, and there's no mention of Inquisitors or anything.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's not a lot of books written in this time period. There's some that take place during the prequels. There's some that take place way far back in the Old Republic and whatnot. And there's plenty that take place.
I love the Old Republic.
There's a few that take place in between A New Hope and Jedi, and there's a lot that take place after Jedi, which is the most interesting thing to me, to get to see the characters that we love from the original trilogy progress and do different things. And they struggle and whatnot. They have other issues. Of course, it's not just happily ever after, but it's not just like, let's just erase everything and just make everything suck again. I mean, there's legitimate reasons for them to have trouble. The Empire just rebuilds surreptitiously, and the Sith end up coming to control through, more indirect machinations and spying and infiltrating things, not just, we'll just overpower you. And when they do start to get overpowered, it's by an invading species from another galaxy that they never knew anything about. There's reasons for this stuff, and it makes sense. And you still get to see our characters grow and progress and live meaningful lives and have stuff after the trilogy, and not just like, just throw it all away, Han and Leia, get rid of them.
Throw it away.
He does
and do
after
it again.
a while in that Yuzon Vong War, but I mean, there's a lot of time with Chewie before that happens, and it means something. He died to save Han and Leia's son, who also dies later, but not then. So I mean,
Disney was like, throw all that away and do it again.
I so wish they had just used the extended universe canon.
Yeah,
and they would have had to truncate it a little bit. Like I say, the Legacy of the Force series with Jason Solo turning into Darth Caedus, and Jaina, his twin sister, eventually having to take him down. That would have been so great as the Disney trilogy, and you would have had strong female leads, which I know was important to Disney. That's why we had Rey, but you would have had it in Jaina. You would have had it in Boba Fett's granddaughter. There's other female Jedi, and you still would have had our returning favorites playing roles. So you would have had it's pretty equally balanced between the old favorites and the new characters.
Yeah,
which is what we should have gotten. Not like, well, you have to diminish all the old characters to have the new ones make any sense, which just doesn't speak well of the new characters. They must not be very interesting if you have to get rid of all the old ones or take them down several pegs.
Each
Boba Fett's
Disney
cool in the
Star
books.
movie kill one of the old
Oh
ones.
yeah, you would have gotten Boba Fett too.
Yeah, he's very cool in the books.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't have any choice with Leia.
Well,
We don't know what they would have done with Leia had Carrie Fisher not passed away, unfortunately.
I still also want them to make Legends movies or Legends series.
Yeah, but we're getting off on a tangent here. Again, I'm not enjoying Obi-Wan at all. We got 2 more episodes, but I'm not expecting a turnaround. I don't have
Do you think Leia's actually going to finally make it home in one of them?
Yeah, I assume that's going to be sort of the end of it. And I thought we were going to see a lot of Ben on Tatooine and whatnot.
No.
And then we got 2 episodes left. What happened to him communing with Qui-Gon? I mean, it made it seem like he was going to start doing that right away. I know, exactly. He's going to be like, hello, Padawan. Master? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I made that same comment last time. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, Part 4 of Obi-Wan did not bring me a new hope for the series.
Reasonable.
And they're also Jedi dead in amber or something.
Yeah, or kept in some kind of stasis. And even that seems sort of derivative of The Mandalorian. Remember when they were at the research lab where Grogu was supposed to go to originally? So, I mean, it's like, can they do anything original in this series? I know it's based on existing properties and characters, and you're going to have a lot of that, but don't just recreate everything we've seen in other series and movies. Come on.
Yes.
Alright, now, I'm done for now. You guys got anything else you want to say?
I don't believe so.
Alright, well, thanks for listening. Make sure you check back in here at the YouTube channel for our weekly reviews of both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ms. Marvel. And, of course, anchor.fm/LexiCon podcast for new episodes of the podcast dropping every other Sunday. Our Batman Returns commentary is coming up next. And until next time when the conversation will continue, I am and will continue to be Maddie.
Lexi.
Dylan.
And this is LexiCon Concluded.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, and fuck Facebook.
What's Facebook got to do with this?
Facebook had nothing to do with this. It's kind of...
Is there something going on Facebook right now that